What's up YouTube, NCG here, bringing you a Blue Eyes deck profile. Now, obviously, most of this has been reprinted, apart from, obviously, maybe the main card in alternate, in the Legendary Collection Kaiba. But, on top of that, it's also received some new support in Lord of D, and of course, the new Revival Rhapsody, whether you want to play it or not. This is kind of a version to give you an option and show you what it can do and abuse in the right ways. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you through the deck profile and show you what we've got. Now, we play triple Blue Eyes White Dragon, again a staple in that one, with triple Blue Eyes Alternate, again another staple. We then play two Dragon Spirit of White, which can be very, very good in this meta coming up against Pendulum Magicians, because it's not once per turn, it's banish effect, and you've got multiple ways of getting this bad boy out. You've got your stones in the end phases, you've also got Silver's Cry to bring it back from the graveyard, you've got Monster Reborn, and then it can tag itself out for a Blue Eye should you need to. So what's very, very nice, for example, is if your opponent's got two monsters on board and you've only got a Dragon Spirit of White, you actually have the ability to clear them both off. So you attack with Dragon Spirit of White, you then use its effect to tribute it off to bring out your Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then your Blue Eyes White Dragon can then run over the second one. So you get a 2-for-1 kind of deal as well. Now moving on to the Sages, we play two Sage with Eyes of Blue and one Master with Eyes of Blue. Now obviously Master is very, very good in the sense that it can help recycle your Sages, but on top of that, especially with this meta we've got at this moment in time until like Designator comes out and stuff like that, we've got Effect Veiler. And both these guys are very, very good at searching it. So Sage searches it, and then Master can then revive it from the graveyard, which is very, very cool. Because you just got to target one level 1 light tuner, and that's exactly what Effect Veiler is. So you can actually use your Effect Veiler multiple times in this game with the effect of these guys. Then we've got triple the White Stone of Ancients and the single White Stone of Legend. Now again, these just help search your Blue Eyes out, give you the special summons during the end phases and stuff like that. Then we've got triple Effect Veiler. And to help combo off with everything, get stuff engraved when we need it, we've got triple Galaxy Soldier. Now the reason we're playing this, if you do want to play Ghost Ogre as well, they can be very, very helpful. But being able to build your board with Blue Eyes monsters that don't need to go into the extra deck and a Cyber Dragon Infinity is very, very good. But just imagine this, like you combo this off, you go Galaxy Soldier, discard an Effect Veiler, get one, search another, use its other effect, discard a Blue Eyes, special summon itself, go into Cyber Dragon Infinity. Now you haven't used your normal summon. So if you normal summon your Master with Eyes of Blue, you then get to add this back to your hand. You're good to go. You reveal a Blue Eyes, you special summon an alternate on board. You're good to go even further. You've just got quite a lot of plays to move yourself forward, and that's before you activate anything like Return, Monster Reborn, Rhapsody if you need to, because technically you control Master, you could then activate Rhapsody, bring back the Blue Eyes you've destroyed, and move plays forward that way should you need to. You give yourself quite a few options. Obviously you don't need to XYZ straight into Infinity straight away. You can leave them on the board, move your plays forward, maybe go into a either an Underclock Taker if you play it, or an Acatic Magician if you play it, unlock a zone below it, link up into Decode Talker should you need to, and move plays further forward that way. We then play two King of D. Now my biggest issue with King of D is it specifically says you have to discard one spell or trap card to add Flute of Summoning Dragon, which we don't play, but we do play the Melody of Awakening Dragon and or Dragon Revival Rhapsody from your deck to your hand. So we played both those cards. This is really, really good to add Rhapsody if you're going first, because as long as you've got the ability to fill up your graveyard and use the Rhapsody's effect, it's very, very helpful. If it was just discard a card, it would have been a hell of a lot better, because then you can just get rid of your stones, you can put Blue Eyes in graveyard that you need to, and it then helps fuel the new card of Rhapsody as well. So that would have made a bit more sense. Being able to search your Melody of the Awakened Dragon can also be an issue as well, because technically, if you've normal summoned him and discarded one, you're down to 3 cards already. Then you add your Melody, you go back up to 4, you've then got to discard another one to activate your Melody, so you're left with 2 cards in hand, you then search out 2 more, so you're stuck with 4, but you know, what you've discarded could be very, very helpful or useful, especially with the one of Lord of D, because you've had to lose a spell or trap. So now moving on to our spells. We've got our triple Melody of Awakening Dragon. We've got triple Return of the Dragon Lords. These all really need no explanation. Triple Trade-In, because we've got 8 level 8 targets. If you do play a Kaiju engine, I highly advise playing the level 8 versions, because you can give yourself even more targets and make trading more consistent. Ideally, to combo off with Dragon Revival Rhapsody, your Trade-In wants to be sending Blue Eyes to graveyard, so you can then use and abuse that. And in the deck, because the Dragon Whitestone, Dragon Spirit of White is treated as a normal monster in the graveyard, you've actually got 5 normal targets for this card as well. So this card, basically, if you control a spellcaster type monster, you can target up to 2 dragon monsters in your graveyard, including at least 1 normal monster, special summon them. Your opponent takes no damage for this turn. So if you go second, and should you want to play this, you can actually cycle round your Dragon Spirit of White and banish multiple scales, which can be very, very helpful and useful. Again, with Dragon Spirit of Silver's Cry, if you've got Dragon Spirit in the graveyard, if you true it off for a Blue Eyes or whatnot, you can then use this and again can catch your opponent off as a nice little free Cosmic Cyclone in a sense, because you activate this, bring back your Dragon Spirit of White, and then banish another scale or banish a back row. The 1 card's a consonance. Obviously, we've got 4 dragon type targets with 1,000 or less attack to draw us 2 cards, which is why we play less than trading. And then we've got the 1 Soul Charge, the 1 Raigeki, and the 1 Monster Reborn. You can take Soul Charge out and Raigeki out for Pot Desires if you want to, because we do play a lot of multiples. It's entirely down to you on whether you like Desires or not. Raigeki is just a nice little board wipe to deal with any opponent's troublesome monsters, should you want to go second. And then Raigeki is kind of the one that if you want to be building this deck mainly to go first, you'd probably take it out for a Solemn Judgment. If you're going second, you keep the Raigeki in and play it as is. So we don't play any traps, so this is kind of a turbo build. You can play traps in this, of course. You'd put in like your Judgments, you can put in like any type of other protection you want to put in, like your Mirror Forces. You can play evenly matches if you want. If you want this to be a go second deck, you can play in your evenly matches. So I'd probably cut the monster count down a little bit more. But the whole idea is that you're using your Galaxy Soldier engine to be your defensive kind of part, and then your Blue Eyes to be your offensive kind of part as well. So it gives you a couple of options to work with. Now onto the extra deck. This is more focused around the Synchro engine, so I'm going to take you through the XYZ engine first, and then the Link engine, Fusion, Link, and then Synchro. So we've got the 1 Cyber Dragon Nova, and then your Cyber Dragon Infinity. Quite straightforward on that one. Our rank 8, we've got Hope, Harbinger, Dragon, Titanic, Galaxy, Galaxy Cypher Dragon, which you then go straight into your number 95 Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon. Now, of course, if you want to make, if you want other Galaxy monsters in there, you can do. But Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon is very, very helpful to be able to, you know, do multiple attacks plus send your stones to graveyard should you need to, and then get your opponent to banish monsters as well. Your 1 Blue Eyes Twin Burst, because this can be very, very powerful and useful and can cause your opponent quite a few problems. Don't have to play it, you can take it out for more Link monsters should you wish. Speaking of Link monsters, we play the 1 Akashic Magician. Now you can play Underclock Taker. The only reason I play Akashic is because in this version, the majority of all my stuff is dragons, so I'm always going to have 2 of the same type, whereas with the Blue Eyes on board, sometimes I might not have the ability to get into an Underclock Taker. But there's no argument for either or. You can easily play Underclock Taker if you want to. That again can help boost your Blue Eyes and push for game as well. So entirely up to you. This is also a nice little out to Decode Talker as well, or any other Link monster that gives you a point, so like a Suja and stuff like that. 1 Decode Talker to link up, so you get rid of your Akashic Magician when it's no longer useful. And then onto the Synchros. Of course, we play the Boss Daddy, and that is 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. That then helps you get into the following cards. That is an Azurize. Only play the 1 of that because we're playing quite a few other Synchros. We've got the 1 Michael to banish back row, the 1 Moonrose to bounce, the 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon to help special summon a monster from your hand to then synchro up into a Crystal Wing. And obviously having a Crystal Wing on board is always going to be quite powerful. My biggest issue with Crystal Wing at this moment in time is when you've played the Wind Witch engine and you've been able to make indestructible Crystal Wings, you kind of sometimes forget that when you make it normally, it's not as devastating as it once was. Your opponent Raigekis you and you're like, yeah, that's a thing. But it's still very, very good nonetheless. So definitely give it a go. Depending on what type of version, the best thing about Blue Eyes, along with Dark Magician, is it can be very, very, very versatile and actually use and abuse different abilities of the deck. You can do fusion versions, you can do synchro versions, you can do XYZ versions, you can do Chaos Mac version, which I personally really, really enjoy. But Baguska can actually be a very, very nice and easy out to it, should it need to, especially if you make a Link monster, then make Baguska, shift everything in defense, and then Link monster attacks over Chaos Max, and you're like, yeah, all my hard work's just gone to waste to get him out. regardless, I hope this helps. I hope this gives you an idea of a structure for you guys to start on and kind of build it around that way. It's not perfected, but it is just a starting point to work it around and kind of get your feel for the new cards, use and abuse them the way you kind of see fit, if you want to use and abuse them at all. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till Thursday, guys. See ya.